What's up everyone, Allan Morrow here, and today I want to show you how I create that extra bit of movement within your acid lines or any other sound that you really want to create movement with. So before we get into the video, if you'd like to see stuff like this in the future, be sure to hit that subscribe and notification bell. I'm putting out a new video probably every other week or so now. And if you'd like more in-depth tips to help you with your trance productions, then be sure to head over to allanmorrowstudios.com, where there is plenty of in-depth courses showing you how to make tracks from start to finish, courses on mixing, mastering, and also creativity, stuff like that. So yeah, let's get into the video, and yeah, hopefully enjoy this one. So what I've got here today is a copy of, well, an instance of Spire. Here, just playing an acid that I've been working on, and it's a nice acid sound, but it can sound a little bit static. So to give this a little bit of movement, what we can do is we can move over to the LFO here. There's 4 of them inside Spire. So what I'm going to use here, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to map one of the parameters to the LFO. But when it comes to acids, I like to create a bit of sort of randomness when it comes to the parameters actually changing at times. So where you've got your usual sort of sine wave LFOs like this here, what you can do, I'm just going to actually map something to it first so you can hear. I'm going to do filter cutoff 1. So I'm just going to map this cutoff here to this LFO, and you'll hear this now. Sync it to a beat, slow it down so that you can hear it more. So the cutoff's kind of like doing this, but sometimes what you want to do, or what I like to do here, is create some more randomness to the actual sound over a kind of a slower period of time. So what I will do with something like this, and again you can map this to anything, but we'll start off with the cutoff, is instead of using the normal shapes here, which you can kind of change from, you know, sine waves to pulses and stuff like that, what I like to do here is go down to these here and these waveforms, and you've got much more sort of random sort of shapes here. So what you can see here, you know, you've got these different shapes, and you can kind of morph between this here and have a little bit more randomness to it. Now, what I also like to do with this, to try and create a little bit more of a random sound rather than it being stuck to a beat each time, it's nice to sometimes turn the sync off and have it free running. So over a period of time, it's kind of just doing really sort of random sort of changes to this parameter. And you can obviously change the amount here. So this is it without it on. Now if I start to bring this up, you'll start to hear it's changing over time. And you can obviously change the speed. Now for this sort of sound with acid, for example, when it's in a track and I'm wanting to create that movement over time, I'll generally pick quite a slow rate. So I'll have something like this. Cutoff's a very sort of standard one, but you can do other things. So you can come in and add, I don't know, any parameter you really want, but rather than using the same rate again, I'm going to go into another LFO, and this acid's already got one here using the low cutoff rate for the lost my words here, for the distortion here. So this low cutoff, it's mapping over here. So you'll see it's actually got this here doing this. But let's change it for something else. We might want to change it for something like the oscillator 1 panning, for example. So again, let's pick a totally different random sound. Let's morph it to see, slow it right down. You probably won't notice with this one as much, but, and then let's just change it to the pan. See, and you can just play around with this. Let's find one that's not as erratic. Let's pick something a little bit softer. Oh. And we can obviously change the rate, so it's kind of like the filter cutoff's kind of doing this, and then the panning's kind of doing a slightly different speed, so you're constantly getting this nice movement. And then we could go to something else like the LFO 3. And as I say, you can do it with the same rate if you really want, but I really like getting that movement out of the different rates and different shapes and stuff. So let's have a little look as well. What we could do here, we could do, let's go and maybe change the distortion amount. So where are we? Dry wet, for example. Let's go in and try something completely different. Change the shape to however you like. Speed it, slow it down a bit. You can change how much you want it to do it by. So it starts to give your acid a lot more sort of like movement to it. And again, you could do, let's have a little look what else we could kind of do with this. Let's have a little look. We could change the wet amount here on the oscillator 1. So if we go to oscillator 1 here, and we'll just go to wet mix, and let's do this over again a slow rate. Again, let's just maybe use this very simple sort of shape this time. So obviously you're going to have to play around with your track, make sure it kind of works within your track as well. You might find that the free rate on some of them isn't quite working, and you might want it to be a bit more synced to tempo. But have a little play around and sort of see what works with your track. Get experimental with it, you know. And as I say, you could do delay times with this. You could do reverb amounts and stuff like that, so you kind of got little things going up and down. As I say, just have a little play around with it. The reason why I wanted to show you this video is just kind of changing the LFO shape to these more random sort of sounds to give you that sort of just a bit more randomness, really. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I hope you have. If you have done and you'd like tips like this sent directly to your inbox, then be sure to head over to allanmorrowstudios.com/free and join the AM Studios Trance Production community. And there you'll get exclusive tips and tricks sent directly to your inbox. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you haven't yet done so, please hit that subscribe and notification bell, and I will see you in the next video.